So, yeah. Hello there, my name is Daniel Kennedy, and today I'm here with film student Bailey Holland.
Hello there.
So, where would you like to start?
That is a good question. I mean, you're the presenter, you're the one with the questions.
Okay, we'll start with last year, your film last year. Roll to the VT. So your film last year, what did you say about it?
And tried to get both topics in there, but it ended up not quite going right because I slightly ran out of time.
So you ran out of time, so it was a deadline problem?
Yeah, it was a deadline problem. So Ollie, you know how deadline problems are a thing that's already come up and you're probably in the next room wanting to kill me? Give us a deadline.
Just go away. Why? What have I done? You know exactly what you've done.
If I know what I've done, I wouldn't be asking you now, would I?
Oh, he's a bit alright, ain't he?
Oh. You do know I didn't mean anything by that, right? Oh, come on, I would never do anything.
Just fuck off.
I was literally
I
saying
said
that.
fuck off!
Alrighty then.
Is there anything that you're working on right now for this current project? What are you doing? Are you doing a live stream, a TV pilot? Or
God no, I'm not doing one of these pieces of crap.
language?
Merde. Hey, I said it in French instead. No, God no, I wouldn't do one of these, they're so stressful. No, I am doing the sitcom project.
Okay, and what is the idea? What's the premise? Give me a synopsis.
The premise, the premise is I can't stop laughing. The premise is, there's these two lads who are working at a coffee shop and they absolutely can't stand each other. It's like there's this one of them who's been working there for about a year, and then there's this other one who's just joined a couple of weeks ago. And they go to the same school, they're in the same class, in fact. And the one who's been working there for ages is called Kyle, and Kyle can't stand Jake, who's just started working there. He's never been able to, because Kyle is sort of quiet and shy, but not in a nervous sort of way, as in he just doesn't like people, he's really grumpy, rude, that sort of thing. And Jake is really outgoing and bright, and so there's sort of a bit of a conflict going on there, but how it ends up at the end of the pilot episode is Kyle actually realising through a series of events, including his girlfriend dumping him, his parents deciding they're getting a divorce, yada yada yada, Kyle realising that his attitude stinks, and because he's basically got no friends due to being such a jerk, and sort of Jake agrees to help him learn how to act more like a normal person as opposed to being not very nice. I'm trying not to swear again.
Okay, so you've clearly put a lot of thought into this, and a lot of thought into the characters themselves.
I just cobbled it all together in a couple of minutes, mate.
So you're saying that you're going in with hardly a plan and you've just come up with a lot of that on the spot?
No,
because
actually,
then surely you shouldn't be so unprepared for your film.
No, actually, all that is in my show Bible. I was making a joke. See, there's a thing, people, like, it's probably just one person watching, hi, but the thing is, there's a thing called sarcasm, right? There's a thing
Okay,
called
moving on from the patronising, what's your favourite film to come out, ever?
Ever? That would be 2001: A Space Odyssey. No, Pulp Fiction. No, I'm going to say Pulp Fiction. I'm going to say Pulp Fiction.
Okay. Why? And why would you choose Pulp Fiction over 2001?
Right, well, I'd choose the Pulp Fiction over 2001 purely because it's my personal favourite. I just prefer it. I enjoy watching it more. They're very, very close. Why I would choose it, full stop. The aesthetics.
Continue.
The aesthetics, the cinematography, the colour scheme in Pulp Fiction. Have you seen Pulp Fiction?
Yeah.
Yeah, the colour scheme's amazing, isn't it? It makes great use of colour, lighting. Oh, and the narrative, it's completely out of order. Like, literally not one scene in that movie is where it should be. And I love it. I think it's amazing. Have you seen 2001?
Yes.
Right, so can you, right, bit of, drama here, can you think of a counter for why 2001 could be better, or do you agree with me?
No, I personally prefer Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. 2001 is a landmark film, and it's very important. Pulp Fiction is just more enjoyable.
Yes. Okay, now, what is your least favourite film?
That is a big question, and I've got two choices here. It's a toss-up between your final major project from last year. Nah.
I think you mean Joe's final major project from last year.
Yeah, that was a big crap, wasn't it? Hi Joe. I love you really. I can't stand you. No, you're alright. Anyway,
Back on topic.
They should never let me be
Least
on TV.
favourite film?
Least favourite film? Either Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace or Snakes on a Plane.
I find they've both got a certain enjoyment factor, despite being bad movies.
Yeah, they're both so bad they're good, is the thing. But Snakes on a Plane, right. Phantom Menace loses points because of the gammy CGI, which just looks terrible now, and Snakes loses a point because, like, there's so many pointless deaths that make no sense, it just becomes irritating by the end.
You can say that about any, well, I suppose it's not a slasher movie, but you know what I mean.
That's the thing, it's not a slasher movie, and yeah, it gets completely pointless by the end.
I think the whole film's rather pointless.
Oh yeah, I mean, then again, I think life is rather pointless, so, Keeping it PG-13, aren't I?
Okay. Next question. What films are you looking forward to over the next year and a half?
None whatsoever.
None? Seriously?
Well, okay, let me think. I'm trying to...
I know you're not a Marvel fan, so you won't be looking forward to any to the new Avengers movie,
Actually, I am looking forward to the new Avengers movie because I'm really hoping that Tony Stark is going to die, so the tears will infinitely roll down Sophie's cheeks, and she's probably just screaming back in that room. No, but other than that, no, there's none that I'm legitimately looking forward to, really.
So, not Star Wars at all?
Oh wait, no, it's coming out next year.
Yes, it is. Next December. It's actually exact year away.
I've got Trepidation. Wait, it's an exact. You mean they've done the release date now?
No, but it is scheduled for December.
Yeah, December. I really hope it comes out before then because my birthday is on the 17th, and if I don't get to watch it on my birthday, I'm going to be quite upset.
And the world will be happy.
Right, you're getting a camera thrown at you now. No, you're not.
Okay, so close to the end of the interview now. Since
Are we close to the interview? How long have we been rolling for now?
On the topic of Star Wars, what was your opinion of The Last Jedi?
The Last Jedi, I loved it. It's my personal favourite movie.
Okay.
I'm aware that that's a controversial opinion.
Yes, it is. Very controversial.
Not everyone agrees with it. I know you don't. Which is your personal favourite?
It would have to be between The Force Awakens or Empire Strikes Back. Okay.
I can't imagine why Force Awakens would be there, but I kind of can. Anyway,
moving away from personal opinions and likings.
such as Yowie.
Do you have any ideas about what you're going to do for your final major project this year? Obviously, it will define your entire grade for the whole year. So if you're not prepared months in advance, you may just fail.
Yeah, genuinely, that's something.
Or at least not get the grade that you want.
That is something I've been thinking about.
Obviously, you've had timing issues in the past, so the more you have this plan.
No, I've had timing issues in the past as well. No, I've got ideas. I do have ideas, yes.
Okay.
Are you demanding to hear those ideas?
If there's any you want to share to fill time.
Yeah, there's some I'd be quite happy to share to fill time. I mean, not my real ones, because the entire class is watching and they might steal them. But okay, so I've got an idea for an animated movie, which is just a bunch of sheep killing each other really brutally. Then
a comedian laughing at your own jokes. Carry on.
No, I am laughing at your joke.
Laughing at my jokes.
Okay, I'll tell you one. I'll tell you one that I've got an idea, because it's just one amongst many, and I might.
Get ready to steal, guys.
Yeah. I think the one that I will share, because it's the one I'm least enamoured with myself, but if anyone steals it, I will still stab them many times. I've got an idea for another one about mental health, but obviously that one went a bit wrong and I didn't get the full, the one that I did last year, we didn't get the full scope of it, and I didn't get to...
I will warn you now, I think I said earlier that I do plan on doing one about mental health myself, simply so that you don't think I'm going to steal any of your
Yeah, you did say that
ideas.
earlier, so yeah,
Okay.
fair enough. It all depends on execution, because I had this really cool idea. I even know the title for once, which I very rarely do in advance, but it's called Filters. And basically, there's a bunch of people all with different mental health issues. Because I'm Cockney now. Different mental health issues. Schizophrenia, anxiety, depression, bipolar, I think there was another one in there.
Sounds fun.
And the colour grade for each shot that each individual character is in changes to represent their mental health issue. So depression, it's just raw ungraded footage because everything seems slightly duller when you've got depression. Bipolar, it's overexposed because...
I would argue that depression would be black and white.
As someone who is
Or
suffering
grey.
from mild depression myself, which pretty much everyone in the class knew, so I don't care. It's hackneyed to use black and white for anything really, though. So I'm just going to use raw footage for that. Then bipolar would be like overexposed because you've got the two ends of the spectrum. But no, what I could do is actually I could have a mania fit be overexposed and a down fit be black and white. That's where I could use black and white. So it's just that sort of idea, basically.
That is a very interesting idea. So you'd have to make sure that within the production you'd avoid that these separate characters get caught in the same shots then?
No, I actually had an idea for that of if they were in the same shot, I would literally do a split screen using After Effects and have a gradient from one grade to the other.
Are you sure that won't look great into the viewer? I suppose the idea of transitioning between these different styles would be great to the viewer anyway. Is that why you're not so enamoured with this idea and might want to choose another one?
No, it's just it's too similar to the one I had before. No, the whole point of it in the first place was that it was grating, and also I'd had the idea of, kind of inspired by Pulp Fiction. You know how Pulp Fiction tells each individual character's story at a time, rather than doing it all in order? I'd had the idea of telling each character's story at a time, like in Pulp Fiction, and so it's a consistent grade for each of their stories, but we're switching between them.
I do really like that idea. So it was very interesting to hear. I'd recommend that you do at least think it over, see how it goes. Okay.
Well, if I don't do it for FMP, I do want to do it at some point, and I have said on live television that it's my idea, so if anyone else steals it, I can actually sue them.
Damn it. Okay, so what do you want to do after college? What's your goal for the...
Suicide. Holly's gonna kill me. No,
We can wish. We can all wish.
he's gonna kill you now.
Yes, I am aware.
But no, my goal is I'd love to jump straight into the industry and just get behind cameras and be a runner and stuff.
Do you think you'd be able to do that straight away after college?
No, and that's the thing. That is why I want to do an apprenticeship.
Apprenticeship. So you've swung more towards an apprenticeship instead of university now.
I'm thinking of both. I'm filling out my university application, not literally as we speak, because this is going out live, but no, that's what I've been going back and forth on my phone for. No, I am filling out my university application at the moment. I'm thinking of what I want to do is do an apprenticeship and see where it leads me. And like, if I've done really well and I'm going to be working with, like, the director of a new show by the time I finish my apprenticeship, there's no need to go to university. But if it's not gone super well, or if it's just been all right, then yeah, go to uni. That's what I'm thinking of doing.
Okay, fair enough. Have you got a university in choice that you might want to go to?
Leeds.
Okay. Question is, what do you actually want to do job-wise? Because I assume you want to work in the film industry
No, I
or
want to be a
television.
plumber, mate.
Okay, well, if you want to handle feces, go ahead.
No, that's your job.
Yep, that's pretty clear right now. So,
He calls me shit.
once again, language.
Mad. He calls me mad.
So, what sort of job would you be interested in the industry?
Cinematographer.
Cinematographer. Any reason why, if I might ask?
Because I'm better at it than directing. I mean, I don't know if my film actually got played in the end for the audience at home, but I know that you complimented me on my cinematography over my direction last year. Even Niall, who can't stand me, complimented me on my cinematography, so yeah.
I'll admit, a few shots did seem quite repetitive in your film.
That's a short space of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I suppose, yeah, once you're in the actual industry. However, you've got to remember, whilst cinematographer, the difference is when you're working on your own film, you're cinematographer, writer, director. The writers may want the cinematography done a certain way. The directors may want the cinematography done a certain way. You may not have as much creative control as you would like. I
may not, but the thing is, cinematographers are hired and build a reputation for a reason. Or they do tend to end up building up their own style, and particularly if they build a good relationship with a certain director and it just clicks, it can be really good. As well as that, the thing is, with cinematography, even if I'm not creating my own shots, I'm responsible for getting the most out of someone else's vision. And, you know, while it's a lot of responsibility to think that I could be a big part of bringing someone else's idea to life, I really like that.
Hopefully you won't swear in front of camera. So...
Hopefully.
So... Are there any TV shows that you'd like to work on, that you aspire to be on? Not be on, but you know what I mean, work as part of the production, as a cinematographer. Are there any shows that you'd really want? Okay.
What was that?
Are there, quickly, very quickly, because this is the final question, are there any shows that you'd really like to work on? Yeah,
there's a couple. My instinct a couple of years ago would have been to say Doctor Who, but much as I've loved Jodie Whittaker's performance, I think that the writing on that has been really dodgy, so unless it picks up...
Okay.
Yeah.
So, alright.
Star Trek, that will be my choice.
There we go. That is everything.
Bollocks.